morning. Now, moving on, I remember our last conversation has to do with the PCSRC with regards to enforcement of the registration for delivery and courier and postal services in the country. You can also, if you've not, please do. If you are, then you can preach the gospel to other friends. Consumers should also help to make sure that we sanitize the ecosystem when it comes to the postal and courier service delivery, and as well as any other delivery service you find yourself in, get it regularized so you don't find yourself being dealt with by the law. Away from that, we brought you the stories that has to do with the headline stories. This morning, we looked at the various angles of the stories that's made headline as well, and then we telling you what you should expect as we sojourn. Now it's now time for us to also look at some of the stories on the various portals whilst we wait for signals to join the launch of the AI strategic launch today at the La Palm Royal Hotel. But what do you make of the Black Star coach when he says he's got, he has what it takes? He's a winning coach. He was unveiled yesterday. You saw the various newspapers where he said, I am here to win. His doors are open for local based players as well to be drafted into the national team. It's a long while that we've seen the local side of our Premier League players being drafted into the national team. We have the Galaxies as well. So you ask yourself what is really going on. So let's see how this door will be open. He's looking for experience, he's looking for mature players with a lot of experience to be at the World Cup with him. Which players, in your opinion, deserve to be in the team? Don't forget the current captain, skipper of the side, has said that they love the core of the team they have. They don't need any additional. Injury has also hit us, and it's making it quite difficult for us to be able to get certain players into some various positions. But we have a pool of talent across the world, from the local to the international, that we can pull from, and then be able to have a formidable side going into the 2026 Mondial in Canada, Mexico, and in the US of A. Don't forget, it's the 11th of June, where the world will be a stage from June through to July. With Ghana will be playing as matches. Ghana find itself in Group L alongside Panama, the England, the Croatia, and we'll find ourselves in those areas. We'll be able to scale Eastern Europe as one South American team. There's a Central American team as well, and then we have a European team, that is England, also coming in. The coaches of Capello and the rest have also spoken about the unpreparedness of the England team that looks tired in going into the major tournament. And don't forget, Ghana has its first assignment with Carlos Queiroz. Will be having his first friendly against Wales on the 5th of May, after next week. We'll see which players will be assembled, which players will be assessed, because we don't have time. We have some few more days left, less than 60 days to go for the Mondial, and we want to see how this coach will be able to turn the fortunes of the national team around. Away from that, let's do some other stories that came up. I said not, Galamsey pit collapses, kills 2 at Dansey. 2 persons have been confirmed dead, whilst others in a critical condition following the collapse of an illegal mining pit in the Assin North district of the Central region. Foreign research funding risk shaping Africa's knowledge system. University of Ghana Vice Chancellor. No contractor owned a PESWA under the Big Push project by the sector minister Kwame Governs Abuja. The Minister for Roads and Highways, Governs Kwame Abuja, has stated the government has cleared all outstanding payment owed to road contractors working on major projects across the country. According to the minister, contractors who have submitted work certificates under both ongoing and the newly initiated Big Push road project have been fully paid. The minister made these remarks when he accompanied the President John Dramani Mahama to inspect an ongoing works on the Kaswa Winneba Highway yesterday on Thursday when he assessed the progress, construction quality, and the project timelines as part of efforts to improve road infrastructure and connectivity. Aguja reiterated the government's roads investment strategy prioritizing local contractors and ensuring that a significant portions of infrastructure spending support Ghanaian businesses. Away from the road, the minister was there, the president was there yesterday to make sure that that was done and done very well. Now, remember within the week there was this public CAN AI key transparency issue that came up with the exporters and importers who spoke to us. The Deputy Finance Minister Thomas Nyako Ampem has defended government decision to introduce a public CAN AI system at the Ghana ports despite growing resistance from sections of the trading community. The implementation of the AI-powered system has sparked significant debate among stakeholders in the import and export sectors in recent weeks. Several trade groups have openly opposed the initiative, calling for its immediate suspension due to concerns about its potential impact on the port operation costs and the broader ease of doing business. However, the government official maintained that the system is a critical step towards strengthening revenue collection and enhancing transparency in custom process. That is what he put across yesterday. And then the news that came in later today, that teacher training are ready to protest today. Why are they protesting? The teacher training TTAG has announced a nationwide demonstration affected by the 2022 to 2024 recruitment backlog. From 2022, 2023 to 2024 recruitment backlog, citing limited employment opportunity. The association has designated today, Friday, April 24th, for the protest, which will take effect across all the colleges of education with a national convergence in Accra. In a statement dated Thursday, April 23rd, the National Secretariat says the action is in response to the growing backlog of trained teachers and what it described as inadequate recruitment slots announced by the authority. Remember, the authority, the sector minister, said when the portals were open, over 40,000 people applied for a space that is only for 7,000 people. So the rest are not excited about it, and they want to hit the road today across the entire country. Then there was this hostile situation that happened in South Africa, where a Ghanaian diplomatic mission in South Africa has intensified its consular support service for nationals living in the country, with officials assuring continuous communication and round-the-clock assistance and concern over the xenophobic incident in the country. The Ghana's High Commission to South Africa, Benjamin Ananikwashi, noted the mission has established a dedicated 24-hour hotline to ensure Ghanaians can reach the consular offices at any time of the day or night for support and update. He also explained that the mission is constantly updating the Ghanaian nationals with verified information as developments unfold. You keep asking yourself what is really going on with our friends from South Africa. Now we're bringing you a tape on what transpired on the xenophobic attack on a Ghanaian resident in South Africa. Right after that, we hit the street. We'll bring you with the enforcement issues that was going on by the PCSRC. We'll bring you up to speed with it. Then we go look at the Member of Parliament, Shaibu Mahama, with regards to the LGBTQ, that he sees it to be a blessing in disguise that was not signed by the XY administration. So we do these three tapes. While we will be back into the studios, you can also join us way of text and comment on 0537158638, SMS or WhatsApp numbers, or you give us a call right after this. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. All right, so we go for that. We go for those tapes. we're going for those tapes, and then right after we go for those tapes, but I think the Shaibos tape is ready, so if you could roll that one first. So the Member of Parliament speaks for the NDC. I believe that the LGBTQ issues are dealt with, and they're looking for it to see how they can. But also reminding you that we'll be crossing over to the La Palm Royal Beach later on the programming, where we connect with our team on the grounds to the official AI strategic lunch that will be taking place later this morning. In attendance is the Sector Minister for Communication, Somonate George. The President will be there to see to it that the lunch is done. Ghana going AI. I have prepared you with the AI tools. How well do you understand the AI, and what are the things you can use for the AI to do for you as well? So those are some of the things that will be launched. If you go to other places, everything is going to turn into AI. So just give us a call on 053-715-8638 is the numbers. You can also join us, or you can call us on 053-715-8638 is the numbers. You can give us a call. You can call us when you're travel. You reach me afraid. We're looking at whether the job market is for the young people. Is it a mismatch? What are we doing about sanitation? Sanitation can give us a lot of money as a nation, and they're not really working around with it. So we'll be looking at sanitation and what it means for Ghana. Sanitation, how do we make money out of it? How do we as a nation? How do we as a nation, Ghana, be able to make money out of sanitation, creating more jobs for the young people? Because we've not been able to look at that area very well. The country, you get to certain places, you realize the country sinks. I mean, it's really, really bad situation. I don't want to call it. It stinks. It doesn't look well. So how do we, as a nation, Ghana, make money out of sanitation? What are the things we need to do? What are the things we need to put in place to make sure that we get things sorted as we sojourn for God and for our country this morning. So let's go for our first tape. And like I said, Ghana is gradually sitting on huge economic opportunities in sanitation. We'll be talking about that right after this tape.
Telephone conversation with his South.
We are tired of seeing African migrants moving all over the world, refusing to fix your own countries. Now we're making it very clear to you guys, Utitina, we don't want you here. We want you to fix your countries. Now you came here with a traveling document, you came with a passport. You know that you are a visitor, but now you decided to come and integrate in our communities. You know very well that what you have done is wrong.
How many children do you have here?
We can come to Ghana and do what you're doing.
Passport.
Eh? Now you are carrying your bucket. It's 11 a.m. You are supposed to be fighting the government of Ghana there to ensure that they are getting things right.
No, there's no fight in Ghana. You must fight one day.
Where's your papers?
Passport.
Passport.
Where's the passport?
Take it out. Baba.
Let me see your passport. Let me see. Luna. Okay, tell me. Who's the police officer that you are bribing to certify these things for you?
I didn't bribe.
Baba, let me tell you. I'm not
Send the
police.
date.
These things, let me tell you, ne? You know by law you're not supposed to certify as an immigrant. You're not allowed to certify your passport.
No.
Okay, why do you certify your passport in a foreign land?
Okay.
Let's just start there. Why do you certify your passport in a foreign land?
You see, it was raining.
You guys now go Facebook. How you?
It was raining these days. Then when you go out with the passport, sometimes it gets spoiled. That's why I satisfy it so that it won't spoil.
Baba, Ghana don't do that.
Okay.
Ghana don't do that.
All right, sharp.
Ghana
Let me
is
show
the
you.
only African country that is.
Let me show you that when
our side, they
you are
doing the
abusing
same
our
thing.
systems, ne? On
Don't do
the
that.
10th
Go
of
home.
April, okay, the 10th of April, you entered your country when The very same day you came back. When?
I
Yeah, it's a proof. Yeah. Proof. Yeah, the proof.
That crocodile can't go
You went to Ghana on the 10th, and then you came back.
No,
Because here it says you exited Ghana to South Africa. When? Here it says you entered, here you exited. And it's the same date. It's the 10th of April, 10th of April.
This stamp you got there in Elof Street.
A telephone conversation with his South African.
We don't want this as African people anymore. We are tired of seeing African migrants moving all over the world, refusing to fix your own countries. Now we're making it very clear to you guys, Utitina, we don't want you here. We want you to fix your countries. Now you came here with a traveling document, you came with a passport. You know that you are a visitor, but now you decided to come and integrate in our communities. You know very well that what you have done is wrong.
How many children do you have here?
We can come to Ghana.
All right, so bringing you this viral video that has caused say across the world, where every nation is now being South Africa are going on a rampage with this xenophobic thing that happens almost every year, about 3-4 times in a year, attacking other African nationals after 1994. And I keep saying that, how do you dismantle this transactional kind of a politics and democracy we have in Africa? It's about time for us to move where promises are made and they are not fulfilled. And I kept saying that when you take that 50 Ghana cities and you say your birthright, you don't expect 5 million roads to be built. It's about time for Africa to move away from the transactional kind of a politics to move into transformational, thinking about the next generations. We should move away from there. We should break that colonial mentality that has ruled us for many years, centuries. We should be able to rule our own affairs and set standards for our people. Create that for ourselves as a continent and as a nation. How do you denigrate your own African person? And when you get the outside world and they do same to you, you cry foul. I'm crying if that's quite a baby. 053-715-8638 is the numbers. You can also share your thoughts with us. Just before we go to the other tapes, I remember I was telling you something about sanitation, how important it is as a nation. How do we tend the mountains of debris we create on a daily basis across the entire nation, the recycling industry expansion. Ghana is sitting on a huge economic opportunity in sanitation. But it only works if it is treated as an industry. If we begin to see sanitation as an industry that needs to be grown. I said, but it is only works if we as a nation begin to see sanitation as an industry, not just a public health issue. Right now, waste is mostly seen as something to dispose of. The shift is to treat it as a resource that generates revenue, jobs, and energy. If we begin to see it as an industry that can generate revenue, that can create jobs, that can give us energy, then we know how to do the disposals. For now, every Ghanaian knows that when we talk about sanitation, is how to dispose of it, the waste, how you dispose waste. But the truth is, we can turn waste into energy. And when you turn waste into energy, you create wealth. Organic waste, which makes a huge large portions of Ghana's waste, can be converted into biogas for cooking and electricity. If we begin to see sanitation as an industry, then we are one step ahead of dealing with some portions of our unemployment. We can turn this organic side into biofertilizers for agriculture. Countries are already doing this at scale. Ghana can expand projects like the Zoom Lion Ghana Limited composite plant and invest more into biogas facilities. Revenue comes from selling electricity to the grid. When we begin to see it at that angle, we sell it to the grid. We sell gas to household or industries. And then we sell the organic fertilizers to farmers. So these are three key areas that we can turn sanitation into a big model that will work for the country, instead of allowing our youth to be working and trying to do things that will not order well for us. And that is revenue generation as a country, as a nation, as a people, as a community, if we begin to invest and invest rightly. So those are the three things you could do when you look at the organic sector, where we generate a lot of organic waste in the system. We can turn it into a biogas and a biofertilizer. And when we turn it to biogas and biofertilizers, I mean biogas for cooking and also electricity. So there are three things it does. Biogas for cooking, generating of energy, as well as biofertilizer for farmers. Now, if we're able to do this, we can sell this aspect, the electricity, to the national grid. GridCo will buy it. We generate it, GridCo buy it, and does a distribution, right, to the various electricity companies who distributes. They also pay. Now, you can sell the gas to the household or industry that needs the gas. Don't forget that the organic fertilizers, the farmers will need it. You don't need to do a lot of import of fertilizers. Now, the second thing we can also look at is the recycling industry expansion, where plastic, paper, and metal waste are valuable raw materials. Plastic, paper, and metals are, I will say it again, these are valuable raw materials. Now, if companies like Zoom Lion Ghana Limited, Plastic Punch, we have a company called the Plastic Punch, are already providing this works. So what we could do, government can scale this by enforcing mandatory waste separation. When you travel out of the country, we have various colors that tells you what to put in organic here, anything that has to do with rubber and paper here, anything that has to do with leather. We have to learn to do that separation of our waste. And then we incentivize recycling, private companies to go into the recycling startups. Then we can create buyback centers where citizens will sell recyclable materials. So we do a buyback. I remember when you take the plastic bottles and you drink your water in Duisburg, you go to the factory with the GMB and maybe Sabrockney, you go there and then you put your empty. They take the bottles back, give you what you buy and an extra, depending on the number of boxes you brought back with empty recyclable plastic bottles. They'll give you maybe a carton or two for bringing it back. We can go into it. Now, if we're able to do that, it generates revenue. We export, the export of recycled materials, local manufacturing input, like plastic packages and furniture, can be used for it. The 13 sanitation service economy, waste collection, toilet services, and sewage management can be structured as a formal revenue generating services. We're not doing this as a country. The opportunities are there. When we paid household waste collection subscription, public-private partnership for public toilets, physical management of services. Now we turn the sanitation into a steady monthly income sector instead of irregular government spending. 0537158638 is the numbers. You can also join us. 0537158638. And numbers are also between our friend. We're looking at how we can turn sanitation into a big money-making machine, different aspect of sanitation. Now let's look at the compost and agriculture link. Organic waste, compost and agriculture. This is a direct economic loop that we're not taking advantage of. We reduce fertilizer imports, so money stays in the country. We improve soil quality if we use organic to do the fertilizer, the biofertilizers. We also sell compost to farmers. So Ghana spends heavily on fertilizer imports. Compost production can cut that cost while generating revenue. So there's a lot that sanitation that is generated daily in the country is huge, and this is huge revenue for the country. Now let's look at the tourism and the clean city advantage. Now, when clean cities equals more tourism equals more revenue when the city is clean. In the sense that, think about Labadi Beach. Think about the Cape Coast Castle, the Osu Forts, the Jamestown Forts. If sanitation improves, tourist satisfaction rises, repeat visits increases, and then local businesses and more. When people come into the ecosystem, cleanliness directly impacts Ghana's global image and tourism earnings. So it is not just a space that should be left empty. We're not taking advantage of it as a nation. And I think we should be looking at it as we go forward. 0537158638 is the numbers. You can also join us this morning. Let's have a conversation on it. We're still waiting to get a signal all the way from the La Palma Royal Beach, where the AI strategic launch will be taking place. And once we get a signals, we cross over to join the feed. Now, we need to get to a point as a nation to be able to find enforcement and compliance revenue. Strict enforcement can generate funds whilst improving behavior. Spot fine for littering, penalty for illegal dumping, license fees for waste operators. But this must be fair and transparent. Otherwise, it becomes counterproductive. If it's not fair and it's not transparent, it becomes a counterproductive. Now we can create a green jobs and youth employment for people. Sanitation can employ thousands. Waste collectors, recycling plant workers, engineers, that's a biogas, waste tech, environmental inspectors. And this reduces unemployment whilst growing the economy. So what Ghana must fix first is this. To actually make money from sanitation, these are non-negotiable things that we need to do as a country. Enforce waste segregation at source. That should be number one thing we should be looking at. Invest in infrastructure, plants, trucks, and systems. Strengthen regulation and accountability. Should be another thing we look at. Encourage private sector participation in this area, as well as run sustained public education for people to understand why it's important to segregate your waste. Sanitation is not just about cleanliness. It is a multi-billion city industry if structured properly. I said it's what? A multi-billion industry. If sanitation is structured well, Ghana can make a lots of money by selling energy, by selling recycled materials, by charging for services, by boosting tourism, creating jobs. Right now, the gap isn't potential. It's execution and consistency. These are the things we need to look at as a nation. We need to look at the policies surrounding our sanitation. We need to do a lot. 0537158638 is the numbers. You can also join us this morning, share your thought with us, and let's have a conversation. Let's have a conversation. A strong sanitation. I'm trying to get a piece on it. I mean, from waste to wealth, Ghana's sanitation economy. I'm going to drive this with a team to see what we can do and what must be done. And when we are able to do this, trust me, it will turn Ghana around and it will bring us a whole lot of things that we need to do. So you can share your thoughts with us. 0537158638, 0537158638 is the number. We're still waiting to get a signal from the La Palm Royal Beach Hotel. Once it comes through, we'll have this conversation ongoing. The lunch, the official lunch, the AI strategic lunch is coming off today. Now let me roll this next step. We went on the ground we spoke to Nee, and then we came back. But let's do the LGBT. Is it a blessing not to be signed by the Expo administration?
Say about the heartbeat of entertainment and one the ultimate show with AJ Barker. Anne and painful say Trini and Dawa, Yamonchain, Yana, what the hottest trend, the juicy gist, exclusive interview with your favorite celebrity, and NASA influencer. And ya no phone, you best say the asa I will show no so HINASE. Kaina will say if it is trending, we are talking about. If it is entertainment, we got you covered. And it's every Friday exactly 4 p.m. The ultimate show with AJ Barker is always a vibe.
The ultimate show, this and every Friday at 4 p.m. only on MBN TV. MBN, the gospel, news and entertainment.
Enforcement is going to start on the 1st of January.
Hi, welcome to Shiloh Guest House, where comfort meets warmth. Our serene environment and cozy rooms provides a pleasant stay. To book a room with us, call 055 5940103 and 0241 972076. Locate us at Teshinungwa Estate, number 8 Coconut Street, directly behind A Life Supermarket. Shiloh Guest House, where comfort meets warmth. Every day on Ghana's roads, thousands of riders take to the streets to earn a living. But in just a few seconds, one mistake can change a life forever. Motorcycle crashes are rising, and riders remain among the most vulnerable road users. The truth is, many of these accidents can be prevented.
Ride safe, check your bike, wear your helmet, overtake wisely, obey the rules. Get licensed with DVLA and register with PCSRC.
With discipline, with training, and with respect for road safety. Soon on MBN TV, you would hear real stories, real lessons, and real solutions.
You are the hero for your family and your passengers. Your life matters. Stay in the game. Stay alive. Join the Ride for Life campaign, spearheaded by MBN TV.
According to the Daboya Mankarigu MP, the development offers the 9th Parliament an opportunity to revisit the bill and address gaps identified during its parliament before it lapsed. We now have the opportunity by the 8th Parliament has already gained broad public acceptance and requires minimal changes.
This bill was introduced some time back, but with a fraction of time, many other things would have happened. Many events would have changed stuff. And so for us, it's a blessing in disguise. And so if there were some clauses that were missed out in considering at the last sitting of Parliament before the Parliament lapsed, we have the opportunity of incorporating, deleting, amending, or reshaping the nature of the bill. We take cognizance of the rights of individuals who may be affected by this, and we're making the provisions in such a way that no individual, no Ghanaian's rights are going to be infringed upon. We also take note of existing legislation that has already taken care of some of the clauses that we'll be looking at here. And so this is going to be comprehensive. It's back on the back burner again, and today we start with that.
motorcycles together. My name is Vigilante, reporting live at Underbridge Flower Pot from MBN TV. So these are some of the motorcycles or the motorbikes being taken from the rural riders who refuse to register their motorcycles to get the necessary license to be able to operate or do their delivery services. So as we speak now, these are some of the motorbikes being seized. They are being cut.
What is your law where is governing this one? Say you catch, I go pay penalty 600. More than what you must pay to register. Where is the law governing it? It doesn't make sense. Which one again you don't want? Say make you do them individually. So about 1 billion riders, we all will do license 570 today. That's how much? And that money will go into their pocket and they'll pay you guys monthly. And you guys will be spending innocent people money. No, it's not nice. Say if you guys then they will come and cover food or what? How much do they carry go deliver? The youth doesn't help me. They don't do anything to help the street. They all go on the street. The homeless people don't gain the benefits from it. And every day you bring different things. Today this one, tomorrow this one. All this money, we don't see any usefulness in it on the street or anything. So I really don't understand. I heard you say personal if you are doing Korea, the Korea organization, the Uber, Bolt and things, they have their licenses. So I don't know why now you say individual bikers also do their Korea license, which doesn't make sense. You see, so the Uber riders, the Uber Bolt, the cars, they do license for their riding. They have different licenses for it. No. So I don't know how you come that bikers should do Korea license. It doesn't make sense at all. At all. Serious. Because if cars don't have license to work, as Bolt and Uber then don't have license to work, why should motorbikes to have Korea license? So we're very stressful to buy our motorbike then to work on the street. You say we should do license. For what? So it's possible. So if I pay and I have accident, you will cover everything and cover my bike. Oh no. It does not make sense. It doesn't make sense. Serious. No. So imagine, so if about 100 bikes get accidented, the commission can take care of all of them. It does not make sense. Every day you bring different things to be taking money. Which kind of government be this? Government individuals, now you be doing this kind of thing. It's not nice. Charlie, you do that small to get your own daily content or to take your own
because it's like
pay 570 for what?
It's like
you put money for pocket inside.
and I MBN TV so yaba beka won as media persons ye pese dumedia no eti atese na obia ehu na registration of transport deliverers for no say wo mo be register na bibia akoyie e dia ma wo man no enu ti na yaba no wo sha me chi hanu a motos a wo mo register ye kwakwa enforce say wo mo be bo mo dia wo mo register say na be wo mo mo di omunyama kwakwa mo mo no o me be kwa asundwe mu na wo mo so so mo nyama asundwe
say you for kuda tuo ti be anya she the ona be mo de swat for na mu tuo aba wi ade yeah, we are there.
Last time, more. protecting the riders. And on any moment, Sikana would be on any way of because license and men riding. That's our license, insurance, and we have some questions. I must say, and over protected customers. Yeah, riders. Again, life is why did they stop our partners? Not to register when they ask to register for us.
Please see this camera. Please watch the camera for me. This camera. How many is this on this road? It's only one. When somebody attacks you at that junction, how would this camera see? If they are taking this money from us, we will fix cameras from each and every one. Please, 4 cameras. Our customers. At least 250, 150, okay. Life is not what we're doing. Every 500, because motos every day they will moto 100 we are using money. We are paying and do back up to fuel a day 200 and if you come young tank already is done. Mumbai and Naka after some time, must say David, just to punish me the riders. I'm moving up for the I'm not perfect and I'm not perfect. Even as an village, go and register bike. Oh, look. The way you can register bike, insurance can root here. I cannot nothing, I can't be. Go again, I can register motor. Hopefully, one. She got them again, is she here? Go more better, much more better. Mama, be more careful in the office. Get him one of them after 600 let us go for it. Yes, I just want to know the registration.
All right, so we brought you snipes of stories that are happening from the PCSRC. We also went to the majority person in Parliament, telling us about the blessings in disguise for not signing the LGBTQ plus, and I believe that is a blessing for the current administration to do that. We can wait to see how this will turn out to be. The deadline and enforcement begins. You heard us talking to the PCSRC PRO and the Consumer Protection Unit, telling us the enforcement is being rolled out. If you've not registered, please do that right away, and it will help you on 0537158638. You can call us, share your thoughts with us, what you make of us. We're still waiting for signals. We're hearing by 10 a.m. We'll be going live from the La Palm Royal Beach. It's the launch of the AI strategic launch that is happening this morning. We're getting information, the arrival of dignitaries. The guests are already getting seated. 10 a.m. the rollout. So any moment from now, we will be going live on the the AI strategic launch at the La Palma Royal. But in between time and now, whilst waiting to get a final signal to go over, you can give us a call on 0537 158 0537 158638 is the numbers you can also call us. I think I've got some 1 or 2 text messages. Go read those messages whilst waiting for your call and whilst preparing ourselves to cross over to join the feed all the way at the La Palma Royal Beach Hotel for this morning's official AI strategic launch. Sector Minister Samuel Nate George will be there, and the President of the land, His Excellency the President John Dramani Mahama, will be there to see to the official launch of the AI strategic launch. So we'll be waiting, we'll be crossing over very soon, but in between time you can call us, share your thoughts, send your messages. 0537158638 0537158638 0537158638. And numbers also be to me afraid. When you call us, please make sure you lower the volume of your TV set, and then we can have conversation via the phone, not on it on the set. So that is it for this morning. But just before we cross over, let's do some briefing on what's happening in the world of business. And right after that, once the signal comes through, we go for that quick one and join the field. Goil PLC has begun 2026 with a sharp rise in profitability, delivering a stronger first quarter performance, even as revenue softened slightly from the same period the previous year. The results suggest that for the oil marketing company, the more important story was not top-line expansion, but better operating discipline, lower finance costs, and a much stronger cash position. According to the group's unaudited financial statement for the first quarter ended March 31st, 2026, revenue stood at 4.14 billion Ghana cedis, down from 4.28 billion in the first quarter of 2025. Yet net profit after tax attributable to shareholders rose to 52.22 million Ghana cedis from 33.60 million a year earlier. Earnings per share increased to 0.133 from 0.082. Still on the oil industry, where Tullow Oil has taken a decisive step forward in its refinancing efforts after securing overwhelming support from board holders for transaction design to reshape its near-term debt profile. In an update on Wednesday, the company said it concerned solicitation relating to $1.285 billion of 10.25% senior secured note due to 2026 expired on April 21st, with valid and unrevoked consent representing more than 99% of the outstanding principal amount of the note. Tullow said the settlement date is expected on April 24th, 2026. Ghana's High Commissioner to the United Kingdom, Sabazita Bansel, has revealed that certificate hurdles remains a major obstacle for Ghanaian exporters entering the UK market. He was speaking to Joy News PM Express Business Edition on Thursday. She said her diplomatic mission has been heavily focused on economic diplomacy aimed at attracting investment, strengthening the trade ties between Ghana and the UK. Responding to a question from host George Wiafi about efforts to attract capital to Ghana at a time when countries are increasingly prioritizing domestic interests, the High Commissioner described her experience as a positive but not without challenges. Zain Petroleum Holding PLC has officially begun trading at the Ghana Stock Exchange and marking a major milestone in Ghana's capital market and the company's growth trajectory. The indigenous downstream petroleum firm listed 640 million ordinary shares on the exchange following what is being described as one of the most significant capital raises in recent years. The listing comes after a successful book building exercise that raised 640 million Ghana cedis, with 128 million shares offered at 5 cedis, each representing 20% of the company's enlarged share capital. Speaking at the listing event, Managing Director of Zain Petroleum Holdings PLC, William Terrier, described the move as a defining moment in the company's journey. The company's share prices closed the trading day at 5 Ghana cedis, 5 pesos, after 2,000 shares were traded. Ghana's debt to GDP ratio is projected to rise to 53.0% by the end of 2026, up from 45.3% recorded in 2025, according to the International Monetary Fund, IMF. The projection is contained in an IMF Fiscal Monitor report released on the sideline of the 2026 spring report meetings of the IMF, the World Bank, in Washington, D.C. It is, however, not immediately clear what specific factors would drive the expected increase, as the report did not provide detailed breakdown. It only noted that government debt and interest rate projections are based on post-debt restructuring scenarios. And finally, the First National Bank has named its first female, Sylvia Inkum, as its next chief executive officer, with appointment due to take effect on 1st of July 2026. As the bank looks to deepen financial access, strengthen its client-focused growth strategy. The appointment, which remains subject to approval by the Bank of Ghana, marks a leadership transition inside one of the country's fastest-growing banking institutions and places a long-serving senior executive at the center of the next phase of expansion. Sylvia Inkum will succeed Warren Adams, who has led the bank since 2022 and is now moving into the new role within the wider First Rand Group. Another latest news brief, direct from our studios here. A very good morning. If you just joined us, you're live on the Morning Focus, rolling from now to exactly 10:30. But today, we're going to have an extended version. We'll be crossing over to join our feed in the La Palm Royal Beach Hotel for the official launch of the AI strategic launch. So let me pick a few messages that has come in on screen, and right after that, we will wait for the signals and then we transition. And let me do amen. Okay, this one, there's no name on it, but it does say, he's a servant of Christ, right? I think I leave this for the gospel people to deal with. But this one from Aben this morning, Aben says, good morning, I'm Aben from Kwabenya. See something, say something, operation and Galamsey now. Hashtag let's stop for tanker supply to Galamseyers and save water bodies and our forests. Happy 60th birthday to Honorable Julius Deborah, Chief of Staff. Regards to Honorable Eliclem Akurugu MP, Honorable Peter Akwesi Mensah of Tema Shipyard, and Honorable MC Agbo of Gan East. So all these people, he sends his love to them. And that's a message from Eben from Kwabenya this morning. You know, Capito, as usual, will do his things, and he believed that JDM and the NDC are intimidating innocent people in this country, especially the MPP members, and they forget we are not in a military rule, it's democracy, and they should know that no condition is permanent. I think he's repeated the stories severally, and it's just near 2028, he says it's just near, so people should take you that Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is coming, according to a man from Menchia Gosu. So those are the few ones that is coming this morning. So we're waiting to get a signal, and then we go straight away to bring you the official launch of the 2025 edition of the AI strategic launch coming up today. Well, let me do, today is Friday, isn't it? So whilst waiting, let me do some Amachi Dede, right? Or I should do that in Lumber. MCR, give me some Amachi Dede. Let me cool off a bit.